Now, I love Solo Leveling because it has given us some unforgettable waifus like Beru or Igris. However, at the same time, I absolutely hate many of the toxic fans that make up this series fandom. The best analogy for this is I'm at the Ritz-Carlton and I'm just sitting at the lobby enjoying some of that English tea and scones. Then all of a sudden you got these Jake Paul leprechauns running through, literally screaming and knocking everything down. You know, you're just trying to enjoy the beautiful ambiance, the beautiful art that comprises of Solo Leveling, but now you gotta deal with these 13-year-old Discord mod rejects. However, despite that, I still tune in on a weekly basis because this webtoon is just that entertaining. But no work is perfect, and Solo Leveling is no exception. Thus, today I want to answer the question, what is the biggest issue with Solo Leveling? Two hands, hit that intro. Now, before I address my personal issues with the series, I do want to preface by saying that I understand that Solo Leveling is a power fantasy series meant to not be taken seriously from a writing standpoint. This series is more for the people who think that this series is a god tier story that can compete with the likes of Berserk or Kingdom. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go down this list. The first issue I had with Solo Leveling is that the story arc of this series is predictable and repetitive. This is the formula. Said characters like Yu Jinho or Sung Jina is getting their ass whooped by the enemy. Then right before they get yeeted, Jinwoo miraculously pops out of the Shadow Soldier he has conveniently doused on all of his family and friends. And in ball-busting epicness, Jinwoo wipes out the adversary from existence, and of course, sometimes spicing it up with that "Arise, motherfucker." This is a basic and predictable formula, but if executed properly, it could be really entertaining. I mean, my favorite arc of all time, the Jeju Island arc, followed this formula to the T. This particular arc did an amazing job of leading up to the point when our savior, Sun Kirito Jin Tatsuya Wu, shows up. What I personally liked was the complete despair that Beru displayed among the raid party. This was a very smart juxtaposition because in the scenes right before that, you saw the same S-Hunters display their immense power in the same building Jinwoo and Hain were wrestling in. So when you saw Beru destroying everybody, in your head, you're like, oh, these guys are screwed. Then we cut to Beru about to kill off best girl Hain. Then all of the simps in section 318, me included, got up in unison and said, okay, Sung Jinwoo, you can come out now. Then at exactly the 11th hour, the Dark Souls One Punch Man background music remix drops, and our savior, Sung Jinwoo, teleports to the main stage and gives us a Love Life performance. So taking this savior formula, press Ctrl C, then Ctrl V about 16 times, and you got Solo Leveling. The second issue I had with the series is the overgassing the characters, which leads to major disappointment. One thing you have to accept as a Solo Leveling reader is that whenever a character gets introduced, no matter how badass they are, they go night-night whenever they run into Jinwoo. I mean, the best recent example of this is with our boy Thomas Andre. They were building my mans up like he was like the final boss or something, and he was considered to be ranked number 1 in the world. And I'm not even kidding. They were literally rolling out the red carpet whenever Thomas would show up, and it was like they were shooting a Miami Vice commercial. Then we cut to the International Guild Conference arc, and we see Jinwoo turn this whole operation from Miami Vice to Miami Mice. And after one middle finger later, God Jinwoo is going apeshit on Thomas's face like a hololive girl pounding on death's gun. I'm like, shit. Even when you got the Ice Monarch, one of the top 10 strongest characters of Solo Leveling, show up and trying to kill off Old Man, Jinwoo comes out and kills all the hype around this character by saying, "Gotcha, bitch." Now, this feeds into my biggest personal issue with Solo Leveling, which is all the side characters are either forgotten or are one-dimensional. Granted, this series is called Solo Leveling and not multi-people leveling. However, I still found it kind of unfortunate that the side characters of this series was not fleshed out. Like, I wish they got deeper into the inner monologues of Yu Jin-ho and how he thinks about running one of the world's most powerful guilds. I also really wanted him to seriously butt heads with Jinwoo at one point and get into an actual verbal, not physical because he's gonna get his ass whooped, fight with Jinwoo. Heck, I wanted to know more about Ko Gun-he's background. Like, what did he do before he was the chairman of the Korean Hunters Association? The only character they kind of dabbled into was Chinha, when they kind of explored her PTSD of seeing orcs killing off her classmates. But that character development got completely wiped out when Chinmo was like, "Honey, I need to go grab some milk at the supermarket. Ta-ta." Then he goes out saving all of Japan from an Ultraman kaiju attack. Now, the much bigger sin in all of this is forgotten characters of Solo Leveling. Songyi, Sooyoung, Alyssa, you will not be forgotten. Well, that's all I wanted to say about my personal issues with Solo Leveling. For my Solo Leveling fans, what is some of your personal issues with this series? Better yet, for people that hate Solo Leveling, what do you not like about our god Jinwoo? Let's get some of those controversial combos happening down below. Anyways guys, thank you guys for checking out this week's video. This has been your boy Yi-Man. Peace out.